Welcome to Nerd Alert, everyone. We have a great bunch of segments for you this week to check out. But first, I want to reintroduce you to the special guest and commentator this week. It is John Rocha.
Hey, everybody.
John, you can catch many different places, including...
Yeah, I'm on the Collider Network doing recaps for The Walking Dead and Flash, and I'm on the Schmoes Know Collider podcast network doing the Top 10 show with my co-host Matt Nost. And doing a number of things around town that I'm enjoying doing, hosting and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, John, and I just, I'm sorry, this is new for me, so I should have said it first, but I'm the new co-host on Jedi Alliance, which is on the Popcorn Talk AfterBuzz Network. You can see me on YouTube talking Star Wars.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
That is awesome. If I had known that, I would have chosen more Star Wars stories. But we show some other things that I think that you have some expertise and interest in, and the top one of those is The Walking Dead. We just finished an episode from season 6 entitled East. I found it pretty disappointing. We both review The Walking Dead on different channels. I do it for The Flick, you do it for Collider.
Right.
You may have different opinions, and that is fine because that's kind of what criticism is. I got into the thinking of what is going on with The Walking Dead. How much further can we take this? Because we have noticed that in certain places it seems like characters may be regressing on their journey or their growth, or characters may be experiencing similar storylines they have before. And one has to wonder, where is it going? When will it stop? How long can it keep going on?
Yeah. I think it can keep going on as long as they have introduced interesting characters and keep fleshing out the storylines the way that they're doing. I mean, every character that they bring in seems to go on a journey for themselves, seems to go to figure out what it's like to live in this world, how to exist in this world, and then like what about their own personal personalities, their makeup and construction as a human being, do they need to expose, do they need to work on in order to exist and survive? And I think that's what you see a lot in the show, and especially what's happening with Carol this season. Carol is having a very strong crisis of conscience, which started kind of last season with her back and forth with Morgan keeping that wolf there and all that caused her to question how willing she is to kill, because it isn't how she started her life out, obviously. And then you factor in the fact that she was a battered wife. There's so much to talk about there. And then Morgan, obviously losing his son, going crazy, losing his wife as well, going crazy, becoming a killing machine, and then getting a lot of Eastern philosophy installed in him. We see him changing as well through the season.
I did enjoy that one episode, One Shot with John Carroll Lynch.
Yeah.
That was a great I think that was the best take on the we can handle this peacefully aspect of the show, because it has been going back and forth of do we have to kill? What is living? What is life? What is love? What is worth it? Yeah. And how do we live? And it's an interesting topic, though. I've actually been really not happy with the Carol storyline.
Really?
She's one of my favorite characters.
Mine too. She's my absolute favorite character.
And I loved her having senses of guilt, having senses of responsibility, being the mother, which side of her is the mask, which side is true, between the maternal aspect and the, I'm going to trick everyone and kill everyone aspect. And I didn't like seeing her leave because she wanted to stop killing, because she must know that when she gets outside of the gates of Alexandria, she's going to have to kill more.
Yeah.
The safest place for her to be, if that's no longer something she can handle emotionally, to me would be in the gates, in a support role. But then you could say, oh, she's taking anxiety, and she doesn't really think as logically as she could at this point. There's a lot of things to wonder. Maybe you like it more than I did. I know you do. And on that topic, we have Daryl, a fan favorite character who is seemingly in a lot of trouble at the end of the episode. Yeah. We hear, I think it's safe to say he did get shot, right?
Yeah. That's his blood on the camera.
That's his blood. Yeah. And then Dwight says, you'll be all right. We don't know who Dwight's talking to. We don't know in what state Daryl's in. Norman Reedus has weighed in on that himself. Quote, you should be very worried about Daryl at the end of the episode. There's a comment that Dwight makes, you'll be all right. And we're really good about throwing you off base. That comment might not even be to Daryl. It might be to Rosita or to anybody there. Or it could be someone in some scuffle that happens directly afterward. Do you trust that guy? No, not really. Not after what he's done. He's not a good dude. But we do see similarities between who he may have been and who Daryl may have been and may become and who he is now. it's interesting to look at. I think this season has been teasing a lot, especially with characters like Glenn, of which character is gonna go.
Yeah.
And some people are thinking now, oh, it's Daryl. Some people are thinking, no, it's Glenn. Some people are saying Abraham, Carol, Rosita. It's all over the place.
Yeah, it is. There's so many to choose from. If you look at the comics, then you know, and I don't want to give away too many spoilers. So if you've read the comics, you know who it could be.
Yes.
What I like about this Daryl getting shot, now Daryl is in play, and it's about time they had someone on the show who could like go toe to toe with Daryl a little bit. And Dwight, you initially don't think that it's possible. He doesn't seem like a formidable foe, but what they've done really well this season is kind of build him up in his interactions. I mean, he's beaten Daryl 3 times now. And it's interesting to explore. And you've got him getting burnt on the face is from Negan. Do you know? So he has other motives for why he's doing what he's doing. It's also for him to stay alive and to be a survivor. And I think sometimes what you get caught up in with this show is that we think, oh, only Rick's group is the good people. But I think what the show did this season is show that every single group has their reasons for existing, evil or bad. Through another perspective, you can see Rick as a very evil leader. You can see these people as very evil people. And so it's like it all depends on perspective. And so with the deaths coming up, I don't know, because Abraham is kind of a jerk.
He's been a real dick.
He really has.
Sorry.
Like if you're into relationships, he's kind of a dick.
I realize you're not the last woman on earth.
Right. Thanks for getting me this far.
Nicer.
He
Like I don't
totally
think
could
it's
have been
working
nicer.
out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I
He's like, hey,
respect you and like you.
yeah, thanks for getting, look, I really enjoyed our time. Like, thanks for getting me here, and I know we shared a lot, but I'm just not feeling it anymore. I need some time away, and I've met someone else, blah, blah, blah. No, he's like, you know what, it's just done. I'm over it. I got to roll on. And then he's talking about how he wants to tear a new a-hole into the world with him and Sasha, and I'm like, what is this all about?
Am I supposed to feel sympathetic for
No.
this? I don't.
No.
So, I mean, you could wonder how long his expiration date is on the show.
I really think it's been posted.
You think it's him?
I think it's possible that it's him, but I don't think anybody's going to die in the season finale.
You know, I'm starting to be of that mind where I'm thinking, no, they're trolling us. They're going to cliffhang us until season 7.
Absolutely.
And we're not going to know anything for months.
Right.
And that does kind of sound like their MO if you think back historically.
Yeah.
And I mean, that takes us back to the original question, which is how long can this go on? I mean, sometimes it seems like The Walking Dead is in a kind of a lose-lose situation, which is if you don't kill anyone, everyone complains.
Right.
If you kill a beloved character, everyone complains.
Right.
How long can this keep going until someone gives out, audience or storylines or what have you?
I think the best shows are like that. Like Game of Thrones is the same way. Every year that someone dies in Game of Thrones, beloved people are like, that's it, I'm done with the show, I'm done with the show. And then the next season, the ratings have never been higher.
Yep.
So it's just that kind of thing. If you pick the right people, and credit to the showrunners and executive producers and writers, because it cannot be easy to map out a whole season and hope you nail it to where you build up to the death, and the death has the effect that you want it to have. It must be so difficult to get that right and get it well done so that the audience still gets angry, but then comes back. And we know that about our society on all fronts. Controversy breeds views and hits and watches and whatever,
I mean, we hear it from people who say, if this happens, I'm moving to Canada. I don't see anyone moving to Canada, you jerks.
No one's
so,
moving to
I
Canada.
mean, if you think about it, this is nothing new. It should be noted that the Walking Dead comic by Robert Kirkman is still going strong, releasing once a month. So I think if we can assume it'll go on as long as that goes on until he wraps it up. We have no signs of stopping. Thus far, audience, how long do you think The Walking Dead can go on as it's going currently? Do you think it'll just be allowed to keep trolling us, or is there a breaking point? Let us know below in the comments, and please like and subscribe for more.